Hi, I am Donna Shaw. I am a certified Quantum-Touch Practitioner since 2025. I had been searching for modalities, doing modality after modality, and when I found Quantum Touch in January 2025, it was the answer to everything. There are so many amazing stories that I could share that Quantum Touch has helped create. There was a woman who had been through a divorce 10 years ago, was unable to date happily, just was miserable. And she worked with me for a few weeks in a row. And I'm happy to say that it's 2 years later, she has been in this most magnificent relationship that she is just thriving. There was a man who his sales quota at work was 6 million, and he was struggling to make that. And after doing um, more sessions spaced out over time, that year he went from 6 million to 18 million. There was the woman who we did a session, just one session, and she went to a chiropractor and massage after, and they said, "What did you do? Your body is in a totally different state. You're just so much more aligned." That was really fun. The most compelling story is a man who was in a very, very horrific car accident last summer. And a client of mine reached out to me and said, "I have a family member who is on life support." And so she asked me to do some work for him. So I flowed some energy for him. About a month later, 3 weeks, it was touch and go for weeks. And about 3 weeks later, she said that his heart had stopped actually. And so I did some more work for him then. And after that, I actually created a guided meditation that they could play. I recorded it, and it was for the man who had been in the accident. He was on an ECMO machine and had a tracheotomy. This audio that was embedded with life force energy, with all of the technologies that I had learned. I also supported the family with the highest outcome, like having them, open them up to possibilities, because you get stuck in how you see the person and all of that. So it was really about, hey, look, let's look beyond this. Not, I didn't talk like this, but let's look beyond this. Like, let's see him walking out of here, kind of a thing. And they played it. The person who I sent it to was from a very large family. They shared with their family, and they played it every day. They played it in the hospital on repeat. And he had turned the corner. He was no longer in and out of, life-threatening situations, but his lungs, they were thinking of putting him on a lung transplant. And I didn't hear anything until September. And that's when I heard they're putting him on a lung transplant list. And I just want to honor the family. I hope I get the timeline. If it's not, forgive me. So when I heard this, I sat down, and very, very strong intentions of healing for him. I did Quantum Touch, and it was about a week, 7 to 10 days later, I heard back from the family that the nurses had noticed in the tubing that there was a clog in the tube. They had to take him off the ECMO machine. They had to stop it, change the tubing quick, and put it back on. And during this time, they noticed he was breathing. So from that moment on, he was not on the ECMO anymore. Sorry, I get emotional. It was about a month after that, he was still in the hospital. This is like 3-4 months later. And a month after that, I actually was able to do a session with him and his wife. He was in the hospital, he was still in ICU, and we did a Zoom meeting. And I was able to do Quantum Touch and some other modalities in that moment. And about a couple weeks later, he was released he was down, set to a step down unit. A couple weeks after that, he was released to a rehab center, and he was sent home at the end of November. There's one other really fun story I have, if I can share it. So one of the most fun ways I've used Quantum Touch for myself, I have 5 children, and one of my daughters lives 12 hours away with her family. And we would go down and visit. And it was about 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, my husband, I was like, what if we rented down here for like a month in the winter? Wouldn't that be fun? And somehow it morphed into, well, let's look at buying a place like 15 minutes away. That way we could go down, we could rent it. It's part of the year. We could go down and we would see him a lot in the winter. And anyway, I flowed some energy. I let it go. And within a month, we bought the house next door. It came up like all the synchronicities that fell into place, so that my son-in-law is like, you're not going to believe this, the house next door is going up for sale. And it has brought us so much joy and so much laughter and so much fun being able to go down there for extended periods, and also having all my other family who's up here go down and also share that. So that was like a super, super fun one. And I think that releasing any need for an outcome, or because I totally forgot about it for like 3 weeks, and then it was like, would you like to live next door to them? So every morning, my husband works from home. Every morning we have coffee together, and after coffee, we use quantum touch in some way or another to create the life that we desire. So what we're doing is every day we're like, what would we like to create our life as? What would we like to create our future as? What would we like to create our health now and in the future, our finances, like all areas of our life? And then we just, flow some energy and do some work. And it's really fun. It really sets up our day for just amazing. I'm so thankful that he's on board, and he's been very receptive to all of this. And thank you so much for Quantum Touch, and for all that you've contributed to our lives, our marriage, our family. It's just been amazing. I highly recommend for everybody. Quantum Touch is just an amazing tool.